Hi, thanks for tuning in to Astro Awani, and you are watching in Realty with me, Nawati Adnan. Okay, on this segment, we like to talk about the serious stuff was hospitality service before we pursue into introducing our second segment, which will be the interesting or unique features of a certain structures. Right now with me is Mr. NK Yeoh. He's the area manager for FAIRLANE Hospitality. Thank you so much, Mr. Yeoh, for making the time.
Thank you.
Okay, this is, I shall say, a revisiting to FAIRLANE Hospitality, because we've had an interview talking about hospitality services as well a good 3 years ago. So we want to know right now the current scenario of this whole hospitality service in our country, especially in the KL city centre. How is it going since the past 3 years, Mr. Yeoh?
Basically, the hotel business is still very healthy in Kuala Lumpur, but there's still lots of opportunities and potential. The Kuala Lumpur hospitality business is very seasonal compared to the neighboring cities such as Bangkok, Jakarta and Singapore. Kuala Lumpur is still very seasonal, meaning only during certain periods of the year, like school holidays, the Middle East peak season. That's when a lot of visitors will come to Kuala Lumpur, compared to the neighboring cities like Singapore, Jakarta and Bangkok, where it's consistently enjoying good occupancies.
With a lot of high-rise building, mushrooming over the years, so I'm pretty sure that hospitality service is also in a demand.
Sure.
So how would you rate the hospitality service demand and supply as in now?
I think we need to work very closely with the Tourism Ministry in promoting Kuala Lumpur and Malaysian destinations as a year-round destination, so that we can ensure there is consistent business throughout the year. So I guess we have to be more active, in collaboration with the Tourism Ministry and all the other service providers to ensure that this is happening.
So would you say that would pose a challenge in this business?
I would say it's a challenge because if you're talking about the hospitality business in Malaysia, we are consistently facing two challenging areas. One is the hotel rates. In Kuala Lumpur, the hotel rates are sort of very low when compared to the neighboring cities in terms of average rates. The second problem that we are facing, of course, is the staffing issues. A lot of the good Malaysian workers have gone to other countries like Macau and Singapore to work. So we are running very short on skilled local workers in Malaysia, and as a result, we have no choice but to fall back on foreign workers. Foreign workers mainly coming from Myanmar, Indonesia and Nepal. Wouldn't
that move somehow reflect on the standard of hospitality services that FAIRLANE Hospitalities is exuding?
Yeah, well, unfortunately it does affect the quality of service, but what we are trying to do in terms of FAIRLANE Hospitality is that, of course, we need to provide very consistent training programs for the foreign workers, so that they are ready in terms of language, in terms of how they anticipate customer needs, to ensure that customers are always satisfied. So training is extremely important, I would say.
So since 2010, it's been 3 years, seeing that there's a lot of hospitality service out there. How do you stay ahead of the game?
We are pretty unique and different compared to the rest of the hotel operators. We look after owners' needs. We provide hassle-free management option for owners of our properties, and we look after their properties for them. They basically just pay a nominal management fee, and basically we just ask them to sit back and relax, and we'll take care of the rest.
So what are the other areas that you are servicing besides Tribeca and FAIRLANE residences?
At this current moment, we are managing 3 properties.
Okay.
One which is the Bintang FAIRLANE Residences, which is located in the Bukit Bintang area. I term the property as the best located service apartments in Kuala Lumpur. And then we manage another property called My Habitat Residences, which is basically in the Jalan Tun Razak area. That is also a very distinctive service apartment due to its location. It's very quiet, it's very isolated, but yet, you know, it's walking distance to KLCC, the LRT station, and a lot of amenities which are around there. And thirdly, we have got the service apartment project in Japan, which is called Shiki Niseko, which we just recently opened in December 2012. So that's you know, that's basically the 3 properties that we are managing right now, and basically they are generating very healthy return levels to the owners who have invested in these 3 properties.
If we could compare KLCT and Japan, like you mentioned, you have a hospitality service there. So obviously it's going to be 2 different areas, 2 different people, 2 different culture. So what are the points or the things that you gauge prior to having your service in these 2 different places?
In Kuala Lumpur, the 2 properties that we manage are very much geared towards the commercial market. Commercial market meaning people who come to Kuala Lumpur on long-term assignments. When I say long-term, basically it's 6 months to 12 months, and mainly they are coming from the oil and gas industry. Whereas in Japan, in Niseko, the property that we have caters mainly to seasonal visitors. Seasonal visitors meaning it peaks during the winter season, you know, when the skiing season is ready. Other than that, we see great potential in Japan, our property there for the summer business. There's a lot of potential for summer activities in our property in Japan. So basically that's the very distinctive difference between our KL properties and the Japanese property that we have right now.
So what would your future plans be?
Our immediate future plans will be, of course, Tribeca, right? Tribeca, of course, we are providing a lot of support to our parent company, which is YAT Group, to offer value-added services in managing the investments, especially for overseas buyers. Of course, you know, when it comes to future or new properties that we have in the pipeline, potentially we are talking about in Penang. Penang is a very potential market because, you know, if you're looking at the tourism factor in Penang, it's actually very, very healthy, both in city hotels as well as the resort hotels, the beach resort hotels.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Yeoh. I'm afraid that's all the time we have. So there you go. Mr. Yeoh and I are actually seated in Tribeca's show unit over in Jalan Indi, because that's what we're going to talk about in the next segment. So stay tuned on In Realty.
Thank you.
Inspiring personalities are everywhere. Join me, Lakshmi Baker, in a brand new season of In Person to unearth stimulating, stirring, spirited, everyday people.
Hi, thanks for staying with us, and we are back on In Realty as promised. I'm right here in Tribeca. Aling Yong is here with me. She's a sales and marketing manager for Tribeca. Thank you so much, Aling, for making the time. Okay, we try to make our way to look for another spot, but obviously it's a very small unit. Let's start with talking about Tribeca. I know it comes, the name comes from the States. United States. So talk to us more about how you coined out the term Tribeca.
Tribeca is actually a same name in a building in New York City, Manhattan. is along the Canal Street. We call it the Triangle Building below the Canal Street.
So that's what you are trying to, copy or emulate from there to here in KL.
We can see that there's actually a lot of similar in terms of the transform of the old Manhattan to the new Manhattan. Bukit Bintang is very similar in terms of transformation and also the modernization. From an old Bukit Bintang to a modern Bukit Bintang.
So talk to us about the architectural concept of Tribeca.
It's a 37-story building which we maintain the front view and the back view, which the best view on the rooftop to all the residents. In Tribeca, we do it in a different way where we reserve the best view, which is facing to the city skyline view, as our roof infinity pool.
Okay.
So it's actually common for all the residents can go up there to enjoy the view.
Okay. When you talk about having a small compact unit of a home, you can call it a home in the city center, and it's a service apartment. What are the target markets are you targeting at?
Mainly for investor and also for overseas buyer who would like to own a home within the city center, business owner who are traveling off and on to Kuala Lumpur. They are actually staying in the hotel in the past 10 years or 20 years, and they actually would like to have a place, to own a place in Bukit Bintang area. Of course, they are very selective. This is why we have our asset management that provide the services they need, so that they have a home from away from a home.
And having this in Jalan Imbi, obviously traffic would be another conflict, I guess, for residences. But that wouldn't be an issue because most of them would be, as earlier mentioned by Mr. Yeoh, it's a seasonal thing for service apartments. So only during holidays that would be a peak season for the residents to be in here, right? Am I correct?
For KL, it's not really very seasonal. People visit KL quite frequently. So when it comes to the demand in city center, Bukit Bintang is actually the biggest demand when it comes to tourism, business traveler, and also people come for shopping.
Shopping, of course. Yeah. like they say in KL, there are three seasons: the hot season, the rainy season, and the shopping season.
Yeah. Even though our neighbor countries go holiday, people like to come here for shopping. For Australia to come over here to discover a different lifestyle. It's a lot of attraction.
So besides having the advantage of being in the heart of KL and city center, what are the other unique features that we can find about Tribeca, and what are the facilities and amenities that you offer here?
We have 5 facilities pod. The pods is actually giving different functions, like it's a Zen garden. Yeah, you can go to level 30 to our Zen garden. Then you can go to our fitness club that is also on the level 30. We also have one pod that is for business center, the children play area, and also the social pods. In ordinary building design, all the facilities is actually on one floor. And in Tribeca, it's actually in a different portion of the building. We call it sky pods. Because nowadays, buyer is actually very selective. Even plan after completion, when the asset management comes in, we have to build something that is up to the expectation. We have to think out of the box. What is the demand during the building completion? Layout design that is benefiting when the asset management comes in, and also we build according to the market demand. What is a size that can is in good demand in terms of when the asset management come in.
So like this one, like the ones that we are in, what's the size of this unit? And talk to us about the space and layout as you say, the asset management team would come and gauge what would be perfect for the kind of living in the city. So talk to us about that.
We need a customized design, all the furnitures, that fittings that we put in here to facilitate in future when the housekeeping comes in, and also fully utilize of the space. So it's only 510 square feet.
Okay.
So we are sitting at the lounge area.
It's a very cute lounge area.
We have a dining area for 2 people, and also a small kitchen that you can really do some breakfast if you want to, and the cabinets and all that. There's a safe for the guests who check in would like to store their valuables and all that. So a lot of thoughts behind when it's not only ID. We are actually doing a hotel room design. And the place that we are sitting here, this is actually a sofa bed. This is the thoughts behind where we really want to fully utilize of it and to minimize logistics when the guests check in and all that.
I mean, the space, the layout and the function seems like a hotel, but the coziness ambience that I got from Tribeca in this unit is very homely.
Because the concept of service apartment is actually a home away from home. So people like to stay. That they're changing the demand instead of only staying in a hotel room. The client demand is increasing. They want more space, more comfort, and also yet they want this in a good location.
What's the rate of housing or service apartment here in Road, Jalan Imbi and Jalan Bukit Bintang per square foot right now?
Currently, I would say the supply in Bukit Bintang is not many. And features another one which is the Banyan Tree. Mainly it's an international brand where they also have their service apartment concept that I think is selling above 2005 to 2008 for higher floor units.
And people are still buying,
Yes. And they're sold out.
And you were saying that relatively comparing to our neighboring cities, we were quite low in price-wise?
It's true. So the room for capital appreciation, like a room like this, will cost you about $1 million. So for investors, they actually recognize the value where the location. When it comes to property investment, the location is most important, and secondly, they want to know whether it's freehold. Not many projects in the city center actually freehold.
And this one is freehold?
Yeah, it's freehold.
Alright, thank you so much, Aling. I would love to talk more with you because that's what we're going to do. We're going to take a quick break. More of In Realty after this. See you.
Setiap hari, Gala TV dibawakan kepada anda secara langsung 3 kali sehari. Gala TV bersama hos anda memaparkan buletin hiburan tempatan dan antarabangsa, perkembangan muzik, filem, teater, fashion dan membual eksklusif. Secara langsung, Gala TV setiap hari 3 kali sehari di Astro Awani, berita segenap dimensi.
Hi, thanks for tuning in. We are back on In Realty. We are here in Astro Awani studio because it's pretty hazy and raining outside. I have with me here Adrian Ng. He is the author of this wonderful book called Grow Rich Through Responsible Leveraging on how to build a property empire through smart financing. But before that, let's get to know Adrian. Adrian, you've started this whole financing expert matter since a very young age, at the age of 19.
Yes.
So you are a perfect guy to help us and to guide us through, talking to us about responsibilities in property investment. So before that, I may ask, the time that you were 19, do you already know that you are going to be what you are going to be today?
Not really, actually. I mean, when you start off at 19, you basically would like to enjoy your teenage years, and you're just starting your new work, new employment. But I was fortunate along the way. I had a lot of mentors who actually guide me all of in the aspects of due diligence, knowing which developers, knowing your financial standing. So in a way, I'm quite blessed. I've got people to actually guide me from a very young age to actually do your investments rather than spending your money on unnecessary items. So that's a good start, actually. Back a very, very long time ago, 20 years, I think. Yeah.
Okay, when it comes to property investment, there are a lot of speculations, just like the property market itself. People saying one thing, another people saying another thing. So we don't really know the right path or the right guidelines when it comes to property investment. So before one embark on this adventurous journey to a successful property investment, what are the things that one should really check upon?
I think to begin with, I think depending on if you're a first-time investor, the most fundamental things that at least you should know about is basically to understand, do an evaluation on your financials to see whether can you afford the property. I think that will be a good start to know how much savings you have, if you are able to qualify for a loan, and if you invest in a property, will you be able to make the installment payments once it's completed, or are you relying so heavily on rental income to pay off your installment? So there's two separate things, yeah?
Okay.
So once you understand your financials, you know where you stand, and the next is to go and source for properties. One of the things that I will always advocate is basically to perform due diligence on property developers, because in Malaysia, I think for the last 30-40 years, we have seen a lot of cases where abandoned projects happening, people being sued for bankrupts because they refuse to service the interest for these abandoned projects. So you got a lot of horror stories going on all these years, and my advice is to investors to actually perform due diligence on the developers, so that you know at least when you buy their projects, by the time 3 years later you will receive your keys. That's peace of mind. This
book will tell us all that.
Absolutely.
Right? So
definitely.
What is the focus or the gist of this book?
The gist of this book is more towards responsible leveraging. Leveraging is, in a way, a layman's term, is basically using other people's money.
Okay.
That's one. But not just using other people's money. In this case here, I'm referring to bank loans to finance your investment. You also take the opportunity to leverage on other people's network, the industry network. Learn with like-minded people. Read property books. Get yourself updated by going through the journals, property magazines. If you don't have an experience in it, there'll be a good way for you to start. And of course, even being seasoned investors, you should keep yourself abreast with the latest developments by going through some magazines that has a lot of updates, statistics. If you're really involving yourself in property investments, that will be something that you should do.
Okay, and when we talk about property investment, I've heard a lot of, motivational issues and stories saying that, you can actually earn 20 to 30 property at least before you reach 30. So that itself give me some kind of uplift, saying that, okay, this is for me. I can fire my boss anytime. So is that actually a misconception, a myth, or is there somehow an actual fact or truth in it?
Well, put it this way. There are a lot of Malaysians who have actually made their millions through property. So there's truth in it. However, not all are really making money. Not all customers make millions. Some even losing money through properties. Reason being because one of the biggest concern, or the major concern that I have, is when greed comes into place. When you own one property, you make some money out from there, and you start to get really excited about it. Say, this is good. let's do this in a big way. Then you start to actually leverage on bank loans and start buying up, snapping up properties after properties, thinking that upon completion you can sell it off for a hefty profit. But that's not really true, because at the end of the day, a lot of people don't perform enough due diligence, or they do not have a holding power, which means to say that in the event you can't sell it off upon completion, or you can't get good rentals, what happens then? Will you be able to service your installment? So there are a lot of silent group of customers who are actually struggling right now to make loan installment repayments. It's just that these things are not out in the public. Whereas you have a group of people who are, a small group of them who will make millions of dollars, they start bragging about it.
Yeah.
So it gives people the perception that property is an easy way to make a quick buck. I think this is a wrong message being sent across. I think property investment, it should be due diligence must be performed, and all considerations must be taken into account before you will embark on property investments. I'll give an example. For those who claim to have owned like 20 to 30 properties, my question is that, are they gambling or are they Are they investing? So this is a very subjective matter. So it all depends on the customers or the purchasers' financial standing.
So Grow Rich Through Responsible Leveraging, where can we get our hands on all of this wonderful book?
Well, it's already in the major bookstores like MPH, Kinokuniya, popular bookstores as well as Borders. It's all being sold at these outlets.
And you are also the CEO of Skybridge International Sendirian Berhad.
Yes.
We are going to talk about the Skybridge International Sendirian Berhad soon, but not now. I wish I could have more time to talk to you and share all this wonderful gist of good information on property investment. However, we're running short of time. Thank you so much, Adrian, for making time with us. With that, I see you again next week on In Realty.